Welcome back, Mere Mortals, to another edition of the Mere Mortals podcast. Now, it might not have seemed like we have been away from your ears or your eyes for a while, but indeed it has been a little while since we have actually been outdoors once again to do the podcast.
2 weeks?
More than 2 weeks,
probably.
2 weeks now. So, happy again to be back. I seem to have brought the sun as well to Brisbane because it has been raining like non-stop for a month.
It's been shite.
But in any case, Meanderings, Mere Mortalites. Well, first of all, Juan here.
Saitama on this side.
Saitama on the other end. Fantastic. And
for those who are wondering, I'm wearing my Saitama shirt.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a Saitama shirt.
So it's his jumper. So
didn't even know he had a jumper.
All right, I'm going to start off with this. So
Okay.
we've both been collecting some apparel recently.
Correct, yeah. I'm wearing currently like an apparel, like a free apparel.
Underneath the shirt is the Hosky shirt.
Off-center shirt, nice.
That one accumulated whilst he was in the US, and I'd been. I'm not a particular buyer of clothes, to be honest. Like I just seem to accumulate them. I don't actively go out and get clothes, but this was one where I was like, okay, people make enough jokes of me looking like One Punch Man without me even trying to do it. So I was like, all right, I'll go the full route. So I got the extra large jumper. So a little quick fact for those: if you're buying something from Asia,
you want to get
the biggest size,
buy.
and this barely fits me. Like it fits nicely. So my plan is, I think I might actually even go to a Comic-Con one day just to test it out, like just to do it. So my plan is, Saitama when he's in his casual clothes. So One Punch Man, for those who haven't seen the anime manga, go do it. It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
I've got the jumper. I'm pretty sure all I need to wear is like some blue jeans and some just random shoes. I go there, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's One Punch Man!" I'm like, "Yeah." Now there's this scene where he is in the this training facility trying to become a hero, and he has to prove he's a hero.
Yes.
And he does all of these
Punching
crazy ass shit,
and running, and all these sort of stuff.
One arm snatching a ridiculous amount of weight, jumping so high his head hits the ceiling and stuff. And he's wearing these blue Speedos with some little Japanese characters on the side. Yeah. So my plan is I'm going to get some blue Speedos. I'm going to write some Japanese characters on the side, or maybe if I can acquire Saitama approved Speedos, maybe they exist. And then I'll go to the Comic-Con, and people are like, Saitama, yeah. And then I'll just strip off everything, get up into a one-arm handstand, and then I don't know.
You now
my
have
life
to
will
do
be.
this. You now have to do.
My life will then be complete.
It sort of sounds like you're half joking, but now I'm like, you have to now do this. It's like you have to now do this.
And the funny thing is, my one arms are they're getting so close to actually being able to hold them for a bit. So if I train, I think another 6 months a year, I'll be able. Look, they're not going to be Miguel Santana good, but they're gonna be okay. They'll be acceptable. So
well, there you go, Mere Mortals.
That's the
plan. He's called it out. So in a year's time, you're going to see. We'll have to do a video of it or something like that, where you'll be stripping down at Comic-Con, and
oh shit,
maybe it won't even be maybe an international Comic-Con. So it'll be one of those. It'll be a touring one.
I just hope One Punch Man is still relevant back.
Surely it will be.
Yeah,
that's one of those timeless things.
I think the next series is coming out. I assume it takes a while for.
Is there another series?
Well, I suppose the anime, I guess. So
what I mean is there more anime to it, the actual show itself, not the manga?
Well, no. So there's one manga series, but they've only done two seasons, I guess, which is probably I don't know, up to the episode 40 or 50 maybe of the manga. So
out of how many?
There's probably 150, 200.
Oh wow!
Okay,
cool.
I think it's a weird one because it was sort of a fan. Someone created it, then it was picked up by a big studio, and they do more detailed drawings and whatnot. So it sort of had the original. The official sort of manga on the Toei, I think is their main
Toei.
producer, and then the anime is catching up to that one. So
Right.
yeah, it'll probably be around for a couple of years to come.
Okay,
So.
awesome. All right. Oh, well, there you go. You've called it out. So we need to see this. We need to see
Yeah,
this happen at some point in the future.
that's
So
it.
stay tuned. Mere Mortals for more. That's
The other funny thing is, so one, if you check out his shirt, he's got a little QR code there.
QR code on the side.
The Hosky shirt has this random QR code. We are walking QR codes and have no idea where these links go, and we will not find out either.
I don't know where this one goes. We don't know where that one goes, but the only one we do know is the frame that we have with our actual Mere Mortals podcast
with
QR code. But yes,
4 QR codes on there.
It is. The world's changing into more QR codes. You know, people are starting to be less worried
I was
about
wrong on
using
that.
it.
I'll admit that. I thought
remember
that was
talking
stupid.
about this like a year ago, being like, dude, QR codes would be a big thing. You weren't like negative about it, but you just weren't. You were neutral with it.
Yeah, I didn't attempt at all.
Here's so talking a little bit into this meanderings off the back of VCon that's been now a week or so. There's a couple of other tidbits and bits I wanted to just talk about here and just explore, because this wasn't part of like the, hey, this is what happened, this is what VCon was. Now, number one is Gary Vaynerchuk, and just speakers in general. Speakers in general. Sometimes the motivational speakers are, you'll see the videos and they're pretty good. Sometimes they're like, this is a bit off, whatever it may be. But I got to listen to in person Gary Vaynerchuk giving a bit of a motivational speech / just speech in general. I didn't get to see in person, but I saw enough videos of Jesse Itzler's sort of conversation and presentation, which apparently was like the best presentation of the whole VCon, and I missed it, of course. And I wanted to go to it, but I was too sick to go. So I was like, of course I had this happen.
Too much running.
But what I found was, in person, when you experience some of these conversations with some people who are like, okay, known as speakers, known as presenters, made me go, holy shit, okay, I can see why sometimes you might resonate through a video, or you might listen to them in audio and go, okay, that's really good. Maybe in a similar way that I prefer the way that Tim Urban writes, like his writing. I go, I really feel energy from it. I feel like pretty good reading it. In person, hearing Gary Vee or some of the others was mind-blowing. Like that aspect, now that I'm really thinking back at it, I go, holy hell, that is a person who knows how to lead the crowd, present, talk through something. And you could see that the ideas were not something that he had planned. It was just like he was just spilling through and being like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. Now I'm going to talk about this. And so he'd be, when you look at it holistically, at the speech, he'd be like, okay, this is the most important thing. And then a few minutes later, be like, no, this is even more important. So if you look at it holistically, you want to really pick and point about the conversation. It's like, oh, okay, maybe you could have structured it better. But in the moment, and how riled up he gets the crowd and people, I go, oh, wow, that is a good speaker. That's a really good speaker. And it's a shame that it doesn't come through in his interviews as much, because I think that would be really cool. I got to experience also him cutting off people live as well. So of course he does it in in his podcast, but he would be interviewing Snoop Dogg or Snoop Dogg's son and other people like Liam Payne and whatever. And they'd start at El Guy Siri, and he'd probably have answered 3 words. I'd be like, let me stop you there. Re-say this again. Which was interesting to see in person. But dude, just seeing what I would say masters of their craft in person as opposed to video was just mind-blowingly different. So I really, really did enjoy that, which was a cool little tidbit. And I guess maybe, I don't know if either of us have experienced that, to see someone
I don't think I've ever seen a speech live or anything like that. An auditorium of something like that. Yeah,
it made me think of people like Jordan Peterson in person, what
Sam
it would have
Harris
been
or
to
something
see,
like
people present who are just known for their speaking or presenting in person it is, I would have in the past said it wasn't as worth it. I've changed my mind on that. That's something that, strong opinion that I held loosely, and that's been changed. I would be like, if I could see now people in person speak like a Jordan, like Sam, like whoever, I would pay the money to go do that, because it was a different experience altogether.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you base the success on it and on how he made you feel, or sort of the crowd's reaction, or
I think it was more overall the environmental aspect of being in the moment, as opposed to perhaps when I listen. If I was to just pick again a Gary Vee thing, if I was to watch a video or whatever it may be, often maybe I am driving or I'm doing something else. And
Yes.
I am listening and I am paying attention.
Let me stop you right there. You were dedicated to it.
But let's say I was 70% focused, 80%
Yeah.
focused. Whereas when someone's presenting, you're almost 100% focused because you're not really doing anything else. You're just purely listening to this person in front of you say. So I guess the focus aspect is like jacked up. So that in itself feels good. But then you've got the rest of the environmental impact around. You've got a crowd. You've got people also, being, really enjoying themselves in the moment and the experience. So that adds to it as opposed to, you listening to it at a separate time. So there's that addition to it. So it's the extra focus that you have because it's just right in front of your face. And the aspect that you got other people maybe feeling in the same way, or the aspect that amplifies that feeling. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
Cool.
Now I've got another piece as well from my
Keep
travels.
going.
Something that I didn't talk about, which was Minnesota Nice. Now you heard about this Minnesota Nice. I'm gonna drop a little bit of
Minnesota Nights or Nice?
Minnesota Nice, or
Nice.
specifically
N-I-C-E?
NICE. And
Okay.
let me be specific with
Minnesota Nice. If I had to guess, what comes to mind is it's a knockoff version of Nice in France.
No. So this is like
and-
the direct translation of people being nice.
Okay.
People being nice.
Then
So-
my second thought was it's a mindset of embodiment. It's sort of like Canadians are super chill and cool.
Exactly.
Maybe this is like the American
Exactly. So
equivalent.
I'm gonna give you obviously direct experience of experiencing this.
Okay.
Is it real? Is it not? What are you seeing? I got some information from Minnesota. It's from people in Minneapolis about some of the truth behind it. So I wanted to share that as well. But I'll also pair that with saying, so before I was in LA for a couple of days, and not everyone was rude, right? There were some nice people, but overall the general consensus I would come out from as people were rude. In LA.
Yeah, okay.
People were rude, and I think I shared you. I don't know if it was you or a few others. Maybe it was Aldridge and a few others when I was there. But the level of rudeness I experienced sending like packages via the post.
Oh, okay. No,
was
didn't tell me about that.
insane. Oh, I haven't shared that with you.
No.
Okay, well I'll share it here. Dude, I'll share it here. So basically, I went in to the post office. Right? Imagine I am a foreigner.
Yep.
Maybe I look like a foreigner. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I've walked in with a couple of shirts in my bag, and I pull them out. And it's literally just me in this post office, and there is 2 people attending me at the back. And I walk in, and I kind of just go, hello, I need to send these packages. Quiet. Nothing. They didn't even reply. I just kind of stood there, and I said, could you help me? And they said, what do you need to do? And I said, again, I repeated, I've got to send this. In any case, I was talking to one guy for a little while about what to do, and he's like, just grab a pack. This is what you do. Put the post here, put the addresses. Now, I guess I knew how to send addresses, but the way that they were doing it was very old school, like write on this piece of paper, and they'd be like, so what's that? What's your number? Now, I got to some spots where they're like, we need your mobile number, or we need the phone number of what you're saying. And I was like, well, I'm staying in a hotel. And they're like, foreigners are so annoying. Like, directly to my face. I was like, whoa, okay. Now, at the same time, another person had come in, like, during this time. They wanted to send 3 big boxes. And I just got to experience this, like, antagonistic, like, really harsh conversation between this person being like, I just want to send this 3. What do I do? And the person would be like, grab a box, put it into a big box. And they'd be like, why? What do I do? How do I do this? And they were just, like, fighting at each other with words. I was like, what is this, man?
Nice. Fighting at each other with words.
Dude, it was terrible. There was a lot of interactions which I didn't enjoy. It wasn't all interactions, so I'm not blasting all people from LA, but then I compared it to Minnesota Nice. Right?
Yeah,
Now I'm
okay.
going to give you what Minnesota Nice is. So this is Minneapolis. Minnesota Nice is a cultural stereotype. So this is like in Wikipedia. Obviously, like it's a thing enough that people are putting into it. Cultural stereotype applied to the behavior of people from the Midwest, implying residents are unusually courteous, reserved, mild-mannered, and passive-aggressive. So looking at a few other things, like the social norms, they almost have... it was like a particular language that they would call people from Minnesota Nice, and where you basically don't use language that's passive-aggressive or argumentative and the like. And when I caught the plane from LA over to Minnesota, to Minneapolis, I straight away felt a difference where people would be like, I had left just the headphones that they give you, complimentary ones that you're flying with, and as I was like kind of getting up from the plane to leave from my seat to leave, someone would be like, hey man, it looks like you've left your headphones there. Do you want me to grab them for you? I'd be like, oh no, these are the ones that are complimentary. And they're like, oh okay, cool, all good. But like straight away, every single there was not a single person that I didn't meet in Minnesota that wasn't kind and nice to like the nth degree. Like, imagine the nicest person you've ever met anywhere here, and it was that every single human being. I was like, this is unreal, to the point that at some restaurants they actually had, so in the US there's, you pay for, you've got the price, then there's plus tax plus tipping, but in a lot of restaurants they actually specifically stated, we take 5% extra of the normal payments and we give them back to our employees, and it's like a health well-being payment, but basically it's like a payment to make sure everyone's nice. Like, it's like, oh, we do an extra 5% so that people are nice.
I've heard of this, yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. This is a really cool concept. And I left from Minnesota being like, and again, when I had to fly through LA to come back to Australia, and you could just see the difference, like, straight away of the people and the way that people handle it. And everyone was just excited to have conversations. When I left the hotel that I was in Minnesota, I had, like, a few conversations with people. And now there was a double up of them saying, like, oh, they were really impressed with the people who were here for VCon, and they were very kind, and it was really nice to talk to them. But at the same time, the way that they interacted just with me and shared things and wanted to talk about things, I was like, these people might, like, you might as well be your best friend, like, straight away, like, instantly. There's, like, default, I'm going to trust this person, I'm going to talk about it. And I was like, it was super impressive. So for that, I call out Minnesota. Like, that is, Minnesota nice was so 100% true. But here's the little devil in the detail. I was talking to a local from there, and I was asking about Minnesota nice, and I was like, is this true? Because that was like the first few days I was there. And he's like, yeah, it's true. However, the thing that they don't tell you is that if you mess someone in Minnesota, like if you annoy someone, if you kind of do the wrong thing with them, whatever it may be, they will still continue to be nice to you, but they will hate on you in private, in the background. Like, they will say, like, I'm assuming, like, an example would be, like, at a hotel, if you're a bit of a pain or you're really annoying, they're going to be nice to your face, but they're going to say to the staff, like, this dude's an ass, like, stay away from him, don't talk to him, blah, 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 and they'll just talk shit on you. So I did say that that's, like, the opposite that does happen.
Humans are humans, man.
Which is humans are humans. I guess, like, if you're going to have one extreme of niceness, if you piss someone off like that, then it's going to be the other extreme.
Yeah, like, of course. It's sort of like, I was going to say, the downside of this is you probably saw the surface level, which is like, oh, you get to interact with this, or super nice people, really awesome conversations, awesome experiences, blanket. But if you live there for 6 months, that's maybe when it's like, fuck these people, like they're these backstabbers, like they hate you, but they're still nice to your face, etc., etc. So
I mean, I think overall, maybe it was also the vibe that a lot of the people who were there for VCon were trying to be kind and they were trying to be nice. Like, dude, the amount of stories, and this is like, I'm pretty sure what I'm about to say also happened like multiple times, and even crazier things happened. But one guy I think it was a couple, I saw it on Twitter. Couple were on the Uber. Yes, they were on the Uber from the airport to, not the conference, but like to the hotel, and the taxi driver was like, what's going on? Like, there's so many people here, la 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 la. I'm assuming that this couple was like fairly affluent or the like. They were like, oh, this is what the conference is for. If you're interested, here, bought him a ticket, like straight away. Now the tickets would have been about $400, $500, right? Gave him a ticket. The Uber driver like went to the conference every single day, like stopped doing Ubering, went every single day, bought an NFT, and was just like, because these people were just being like super nice to each other. And like, you just heard stories like that over and over and over and over again. And I was like, man, this just sounds like a whole ball of like really good times and good vibes. But there's obviously the opposite side of, maybe under the surface, there is a little bit of negativity or extremes on the other end. But
no, that's really cool.
Anyways, but yeah, people in LA, up your game. Like, if there's Minnesota nice, why can't there be like LA nice? Like, come on, man.
I always hear this one. Is it because they're packing in Minnesota? What are the gun laws like there? Is it like you have to be nice? Because if you're rude,
I don't know.
There's the chance that someone will whip out a piece.
I mean, at the same time, that's also where the George Floyd riots happened. Like, the death of George Floyd was in Minneapolis.
Okay, I'm so unaware.
There was like I actually looked into it. It was like millions of dollars of damages when they did the riots. So actually, in that same Wikipedia article, it was like, well, the irony is like that happened, and then it was like this humongous riot,
Gotcha.
which I was like, okay, interesting double play. But there you go.
Speaking of nice NFT people, Vegas from the Hosky, Carl from the Vegas pool, CNFTs, whatever. he sent me through my artwork one. He got one of mine, and he just sent it through
really?
to me. I was like, fuck.
Oh, hell yeah, that's cool.
So now I own.
You formally
my own,
own your own NFT that you created.
Yes,
that is awesome. And we talked about this a little while ago, me and Model. So we weren't aware Karen did create his own CNFT, so NFT.
I created
like
the
background
for one of the Huskies. And
that's awesome that you actually got it now. Yeah.
So that was very cool. So thank you very much, Mr. Vegas.
I like it. Look, I've got one more item as well I wanted to share, and then I'll see if you got anything else. But I talked about it, I think offline. I didn't mention it on the podcast, but I am learning a language now. I am learning a language, which has been pretty cool.
Faster pace than I am.
I don't know what exactly triggered such a 180, because I remember, look, you can go back a couple of not long ago, a month or 2 months ago, I was on the podcast being like, I don't understand learning a language. Like, I get it from the rational sense and the objective sense, but I'm like, am I really going to use it? Maybe it's a bit waste of efficient time or whatever. And it was probably a pairing of another individual who's learning a language, plus I think I must have read either like a study, or someone was talking about a study of just how powerful it is to be learning another language, even if you're already bilingual, just to be learning something else, and its ability to not just help in memory in that aspect, but just broadly across everything else and get to see different pieces. Then I was like, oh, okay, cool. So for the players at home, it's French that I'm currently learning. I've got a massive step up, obviously, because I know Spanish. So you can, off the bat, you could probably understand 20% of sentences in French just by guessing, I guess. And
probably a bunch of Italian as well.
Things like the female-male counterparts, things like when do you do plural on a word based on like the object that you're talking about or the like. I can already get from Spanish. There's a lot of, when I'm doing my training, and again, it's through Duolingo, when I'm doing a lot of like direct, what does this particular thing say in a text form, and change it to English, I'm like, okay, that's pretty straightforward. But again, the speaking and trying to articulate that or understanding from listening, supremely hard for me at the moment. So, but literally just began.
Very cool.
So,
well, let's see how long you continue with that. But
I actually saw some of my stats before. It said that I was averaging 37 minutes per day of study, and I've done 18 days in a row.
Nice, man.
So I was
that's
wow.
good. That's more like I've said. That's more than I've been doing this past month. I've been not hitting my goals, but you'll find out
we'll
find out about that in the monthly goals.
Yeah,
very cool, man. Very cool. All right, well, I've got mine are related to memes. To be honest.
Okay, let's talk about memes.
Reality is breaking, Juan. Reality is fucking breaking.
It's fracturing. What's happening?
What happened was I had to do a new Microsoft, my Microsoft account linked to my computer. It's been fine for, I don't know, the 2-3 years I've had this computer. A little bit less than that, 2 years. And, of course, needed to like quickly do something. Just really need to quickly get on, change this thing, upload this podcast, something. Can't log in. Your Microsoft. You need to update your PIN. It's like, okay, all right. Now, thankfully, it's sort of figured out enough with my own personal account and then the Mere Mortals is that it's very balanced now because I have access to sort of both of them and I have access to you if need be. So between like the two of us, it's pretty easy to get back into things. But essentially, it was asking like, hey, we'll send a pin to your sort of like recovery email account, and then you put this pin in, and this is et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, okay, all right, send it to there. Well, what was the pin number? It was, and so it's a 7-digit number.
7-digit, okay, that's odd.
It started with 42069, and then it was like 85. And man, I just went, no way, I'm getting scammed right now. There's something wrong here.
42069.
So 42069, which is all I've been seeing with regards to memes
Hosky and everything.
Hosky and Elon Musk, and it's just like, no way, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real. And so I probably did 20 minutes of research just to verify, okay, is this the correct Microsoft recovery account email? Like, should I be getting it from
this email
Microsoft
or that email,
support or whatever? Is it normally 7 digits? What do you do? What is the normal? Like, I spent so much time just verifying that this wasn't.
I think I would too. I think I would think otherwise. I'd be like, 42069. What is going on?
And so I eventually was like, this looks legit. So I, type in forward 2069, haha, 85, and then sure enough, it worked. So it was just like, what the fuck?
So if you want to confuse us, me immortalites, you should send us a boostergram before 2069. And then we'll be like, whoa, what's going on? And we'll also appreciate it. And then we'll also
or
really
even better,
appreciate
69 420.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now with the prices coming down, it's
Easy.
much more
Easy.
affordable now for you to get into it.
But this has got me thinking a bit about memes and I suppose like the origination of memes. And another two things which took me by surprise recently, and you'll know one of the... You should probably know both of these. You know the meme where it's typically someone says something and then it goes... It's like the theme music at the end.
Kind of. I think I know what you're talking about.
And it's usually like they're making like Clown World. Like they say something, they say like a strong statement, and then it cuts to like
I do know. Okay, yeah, I know.
A news feed of them being caught for their anti-gay pastor is now turns out to be like a rampant homosexual. Or something like
I've
that.
seen that in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
Plenty of those would come from that. I was just trolling around looking for something to play as like background on Netflix as I was doing some stuff, and I chucked on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which is an anime for those wondering. And right at the end, that theme music played at the end of every single episode. And it turns out that's where it came from.
That's the origination of it.
That's the origination. And I just went, whoa, I thought this was from like an actual Arrested Development, I think was the TV show. I thought it was from that. No, it turns out it's from just, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Another one, which was even better, and you definitely know this one, is the rap. Was it like my money folds?
Yeah, my money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds.
I'd like to see
like
you wiggle.
Faux show.
Now, do you know where that comes from?
Yes, I do. I do know where it comes from. It's like, I don't know what the guy's name is.
Louis Theroux.
Okay, yeah, but I have seen the original, the original when they're doing the interview. Like,
what?
oh, you did rap music?
And it's just so funny, because it's Louis Theroux, the most deadpan documentary I won't call him a comedian, but he's very funny. He gets himself
like the deadpan commentary. It's like kind of our mate Steven. It's like the deadpan-iest of it is funny.
Yeah. Someone who thrives in the uncomfortableness. He'll say something completely. Someone will say something, then he will just be like, "Oh, yeah, but is that really how it is?" And then just look at him, and he can just hold it.
Wait and hold it.
Seeing.
If you haven't seen the original video of that, go check it out. It is pretty good on its own. It's like the interviewer just asks him, and he's just like, "My money don't jiggle."
And like we're saying, he does it so deadpan. And I was discussing this the other day with Brendan, and I was just saying, I haven't actually seen a good video associated with the rap. It's almost like the rap is so good on its own, because all I've seen is it like with a bee. Just jiggling or something like
people
that.
moving or people dancing to it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it's really fun when you can find the originations of a meme, and it can sort of surprise you. It's just like, whoa,
that really come from there. And then I think some of the the really original older memes, like the original memes.
Yeah, think of the who was that huge Chinese basketball star, like the Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
And then his was the face, which was like so many good memes just came from nowhere, man. Just absolutely nowhere.
I actually saw a post on Twitter. I'm getting big into Twitter now, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I saw someone post that if you can understand something like, if you can understand or become knowledgeable in the meme culture, that's the next way to become wealthy. There's a way to become wealthy. And I agree. Like this, if you're a good creator of memes, I think at the moment you could probably that's like a strong marketing play. Like a very strong marketing play. The meme ability, the memeability of things is strong.
Well, as automation starts to take away more and more of the, I guess, like manual doldrum type jobs, which I personally think is fantastic. I don't know. I always get somewhat confused when people are like, the robots are taking our jobs. I get it, but it's like the robots have always been taking our jobs for the past 200 years. So
or just even pause. It's just like evolution and growth has been taking jobs.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just the robots itself. So
the aqueduct took away the job of the person, hauling water from the well to their house. Like, those damn aqueducts. Fuck them.
Aqueducts. Oh, yeah. Actually, here's a little side one, not directly with people, but Kevin Rose was sharing this with Gary, and I hadn't actually heard it. I don't know why, but people complain and talk about like NFTs and the difference between NFTs and canvas art or like actual real art, and why we should be changing here. The original, when paintings were done on walls and then they changed to canvas, like actually using canvases to put paintings on there, people were all up in arms that they moved from walls to canvases because they were
I'd heard this,
why would you use canvases? Like, people can going to steal it, they're going to be able to damage it and all this sort of stuff. And there was like all these people were up in arms that drawings and painting was moving from walls to canvases. So I was like, that's an interesting concept.
I can, I could reproduce that so easily, right click, save JPEG image.
So
it's the equivalent of that conversation, but when was that? Do you reckon?
They didn't really
1,000
say.
years ago?
I would admit. Yeah, I would have imagined it'd be a long time ago, maybe a couple of hundred years. I wouldn't say 1,000 years ago, but maybe a couple of hundred years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Well, canvases. Well, when was paper?
Yeah, I've no
papyrus
idea.
was done in Egypt, like
my history's not
BC
that good.
and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, long time ago. So
yeah.
Anything else you got for us on this Meanderings?
One more. So I was chatting. You just mentioned Egypt, and this popped up. If you went to the Great Pyramids and you had you had the option to climb it and do something at the top, what would you do at the top of the Great Pyramids?
Handstand.
A handstand?
Because it's flat. Because it's flat at the top, and one of them I think it is. Well, I don't have all of them up, but yeah, I think a handstand for sure.
Okay, there you go. So you've got a very similar mind to Brendan. Brendan was saying,
like, as if you wouldn't do that too.
Yeah, I probably would. Because you got to do like a power move at the top.
You got to do a power move. You got it. Now, mine would be like pretty terrible, but I still would have attempted. Speaking exactly of that as well, when I was a VCon, there was a particular point when I was kind of tired. We were just sitting back, and I was very tempted to say to one of the guys we were sitting with, be like, can you video me? I'm going to do some handstand walking around this place. And I think that would be a cool thing. It would be a power play. I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I was in Egypt, I think if I went to the top of it, I'd have to try to do a handstand.
Okay, so you wouldn't have sex like those people did?
I didn't see that, but no, I wouldn't attempt that. Or
yeah, they got in big trouble.
Or I have in the past.
I think they left the country and then they released the videos or something like that.
I did do this when I was in Thailand with the family. We were, I don't know, the layout of the beach and the sunset that we were at, I could jump, because I can jump and like touch my toes, and just of the angle of the beach, I could do it, and it looked like I was jumping like a mile high. Maybe I'd do that. As well. So like try and get like a timing so it's like floating up in the air.
Yeah,
something
that'd be
like
cool.
that as well.
That'd be cool. Yeah, very good.
Easy. Okay. Well, me and more or less that comes
down.
the end of Meanderings. I have enjoyed this session as well. I have enjoyed actually being outdoors. It's beautiful, sunny. I'm enjoying this weather, like this sort of the nice weather. But if you have enjoyed listening to us, Mere Mortal Lions, there is a great way that you can support us, and that is through Boostergramming. Now, I have talked to many people in the last couple of weeks around, the space, podcasting, cryptocurrency. We realize we're early, right? We realize we are super early, and that's okay. So if you want to venture into trying out something new, you want to be in the bleeding edge of something, try and download a Podcasting 2.0 app. Try and get some money if you don't have it already into cryptocurrency. It doesn't have to be a whole Bitcoin. It can be legitimately 1,000 Satoshis, like just the minimal amount. Teach yourself getting into cryptocurrencies and what they mean, what it means to store it. And then, as you're listening to us, you can go, you know what? Because these guys got me into it, and actually with the initial, I don't know, antithesis for actually getting into it, I'm going to send them a little bit of a boostergram, and I'm going to send them a comment and say, thank you very much. Again, if you want to learn more about it, I actually would recommend just bloody Googling it. But Valley for Valley podcast, again, a bit of a call out. The Valley for Valley podcast is back on, but if you want to go and check out all the rest of the Valley for Valley and understand how you might, the Triple T, Talent Time Treasure, support us. So obviously that's through talent. You could suggest to us like, hey, there's this thing that you could be doing better, or here's something. Time, obviously. It's just like, can you save us time in doing a certain thing? Or treasure, just sending through a boostergram, or obviously sending us through Satoshis by streaming. That would always be appreciated as well.
Damn, Juan's got his pitch down.
There's the elevator pitch. All right, for now, Me and More Lights, we're going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoy your day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Me and More Lights, Juan out.
Karen out. Yeah.